Day 68 of my carnivore life, and I have some questions for you guys, so please help me with that because my yesterday's video, who didn't saw it, it's about what Dr. Chaffee told me to do, and today I'm very prepared because the first thing I did, I went to the butcher, I called him. I now had 2 kg of beef fat trim. It costs in my country about €4, and normally in America they gave it away for free. It's really funny, they have no clue how much gold they have in their hands, and they were so confused, but they were so nice today. Usually the butcher is very a little bit special, but today they were so lovely and nice. And then I came home, I just cut it into little pieces and have like this much, because it's, you know, this much of the fat, when you make it small pieces, is that much done. And you have a lot of tallow left to cook with, so this is just amazing. And that's what I eat maybe in a day, like the double for at least like this. So I prepared it into little bags, and now I have it for around 10 days. So that's one thing that is easy for me because I just love it, and that's like my lunch. So I do have a rump steak with a lot of fat, if you can see that, and the ribeye fat. I did have also in the morning with the butter. I have to see he didn't recommend butter, so I'm not sure if I should eat it, but sometimes I don't have, I'm on the road and these kind of things, so I need to implement the fat, and it's going to be very difficult next week. I'm on the road for my job, and it's always a little bit more difficult than to have these things. And I'm in Vienna, and there if you go to eat a steak, you pay €60. Here you pay already 30, so it's too much. I cannot afford that to go to eat then every day there, but I need to figure it out. And the most easiest thing to get there is like, you know, chicken and these kind of things, and pork. But we will see how I can manage it. And one thing is, I packed it now for 10 days, and I also bought liver because he told me to eat liver every day for the next 2 months, just because of my healing process. So it's not about everybody should do that, it's about my MS healing process. So he said to eat a few ounces a day the first 2 months. And that's something I don't understand in English. Maybe is it because 1 ounce is 30 grams, if I researched it correctly. So what does this mean? Is it then few ounces? Do you mean when you say that you have to have less than 30 grams a day or more than 30 grams? Because that's a little bit confusing for me, because 30 grams, it's like this much. And if you accumulate it, I don't know, I don't understand. So I did pack for about 40-50 grams. I make little packages, and now I have it for a month prepared. So if I'm doing it correctly, then because these few ounces, I'm not sure. So please, maybe if you understand, please let me know. Maybe you can explain it to me. And I hate normally liver. I really hate it. So that's why I always ate it cold, little pieces, and just swallowed it like a pill, because that's what my body needs. And Dr. Chaffee, you know, told me to take it. So that's what I'm going to do, especially for my healing process. So the most important thing here for me was, I figured it out today. I bit my tongue, sorry. I figured it out. I made it into tallow, because what's left over here is I think you call it tallow, but it's just the fat, and I cook with it, so it's basically free. And I then have a lot of tallow, and then cook the liver in the tallow, and it was still in the middle, it was raw, and they had a crunchy outside. It was like a medium steak, and then I used it with a lot of butter. So I had 10 grams of butter and 30 grams of liver, and it was so good. So that's a good development we are having here, because I have now to implement it every day, and it's very important that it tastes good and I don't like, well, and my son tasted it, he hated it, but I actually did like it with the butter, so that's fine. And I do have now the rump steak. It's a lot of fat, like you see here, and the ribeye fat as well. In the morning I did have also hot water with butter, with 30 grams of butter, and it's like that much water. It was amazing, because I didn't want to have, you know, my habits drinking coffee. I quit now maybe even 3 weeks ago, but I then implemented matcha tea, and it's easier to get rid of matcha tea than of coffee. And I like to have this, you know, warm drink, and I cannot take bone brew and these kind of things because I'm allergic. So for me, it's very difficult to find the right stuff. So I made, you know, this hot water with the butter, and it was so good. And if you stir it or whip it or however, then it was tasting really good. It was so nourishing. It was so cool. But then after, I did have some issues with my stomach. I did have just, you know, a little bit of bloating, and I felt it's like, you know, this feeling you will get to the diarrhea or something like this. I didn't, but it's how I felt. And that's one of the things that Steak and Butter Gal a lot said, you know, hot or melted butter does cause issues for a lot of people. And it seems like I'm one of these people, unfortunately, but it is like, it's in an okay range. It wasn't that bad, but it was so nourishing, and it was so nice and so tasty for me. So that's one thing that I really liked, but you know, I have to be a little bit more careful because my stomach is very sensitive to it. So ice cold butter out of the freezer, not the fridge, is just amazing. For me, it's the best thing. And if I don't melt it on a steak, I do eat it really clash cold, and it's so good. And yeah, I did it. I have that in the morning, and now I'm having my rump steak with the fat trim, and I didn't have anything else, so I drink water. I don't use the electrolytes anymore. I bought the B12. He told me to. I use the magnesium for my cramps because some of the cramps started because I forgot salt. I really forgot salting my things because sometimes I'm just making it and I don't even miss it, and then I forget it. And my body does immediately then after 2-3 days start cramping at night. So now it's better. I took magnesium again, and I'm salting with Himalaya salt. So that's what we have here. We don't have the stuff you in America have, which you recommend a lot. We don't have that here. So that's a little bit of a difficult situation with some of the stuff that Americans do recommend. We don't have it here. So yeah, I did also buy, I thought, I don't know, so I need your help with that. I don't know what I bought. Honestly, I asked the butcher. I thought it's spare ribs, but I may be totally wrong because I said, you know, the ribs from the cow, and they were confused, and I was like, you mean from the pork? I said, no, from the cow. And then they were asking their bosses, and it was like really getting crazy, and I didn't understand what the problem was. And they said, they brought it, and they say, is this okay? And they were so confused, and I was like, yeah. And she said, what do you want to do with that? And I said, I don't know, grill it? And she said, oh yeah, okay. And she was confused. So I thought, I don't know. I never made it, you know. And I told her, I don't know, can I do that? And she said, yeah, why not? And that's when I was really confused. And after I got home, I understand why, because the grilling didn't work at all. And it was just tasting awful. And then my mom said that my grandfather is used to make soup out of it just with that, but they don't eat it usually. They just make the soup out of it. So I have no clue what I bought. Actually, it's funny, it were ribs. And now my dog is very happy because he had that big of a rib. I need to post a photo on Instagram. Really have to see it. It's so funny because he's a Chihuahua, and then the rib is bigger than him. It's so funny. Yeah, that's one thing. About my grandfather also, my mom told me that my grandmother, my great-grandmother, when the kids needed calcium, because the shell of the egg does contain calcium, and you give it also to animals usually as a little bit because they need it. I don't know, that's a lot of people do that. And she said, you know, you have to have a full glass of lemon, and then my grandmother put the egg until the shell was disappearing into this liquid, and then that's what they drank at the time. Oh, my dog. So that was very funny. So if you search for natural calcium, I don't know if my grandmother was right, but yeah, that's really funny if you don't have dairy and need calcium. So maybe, I don't know, look it up, research it, ask somebody who knows it, but that's the grandmother's ideas. And ideas. I need some ideas of you guys because I have to stop chewing gum. So what's the problem? I do have a lot of social responsibilities and I'm constantly out in a car, on work. So I don't have also the opportunity, always the opportunity just, you know, to constantly brush my teeth because I do talk to a lot of people and it's very awful, I think, when people just talk to you also in meetings and they smell out of their mouth. But sometimes it's really difficult. Even if I brush my teeth, I do have this feeling that, you know, it's maybe just a habit and you're just, you know, thinking it, but I'm not sure about these parts. So do you have anything that is an alternative to, you know, to take a chewing gum or, you know, a bonbon and these kind of things? Yeah, you annoying little thing. My dog. So maybe you have some ideas for me, that would be great. What to do instead of maybe, you know, and no, it's not an option for me to just accept it. If I do have this feeling that, you know, this taste and these kind of things. And the other thing is also about how to, you know, shower and wash my hair and these kind of things. I tried now really in so many different shops and these kind of things, which are also specialized in 100% nature things. I couldn't find anything what some of you guys and influencers do with. You have a lot of brands actually in the carnivore world. We don't have that because we're a vegan country. So for me, it's very difficult. And now I try just to have the 98% nature ingredients things to you know, make it more easier, but I have no idea. Maybe you have some ideas or saw some videos how to, with what you can brush your teeth also that is really clean and, you know, not getting yellow teeth then because you're used to maybe stuff, and also for, you know, hair when they're colored especially, or, you know, just to shower. So maybe you have some tips. I would love to hear them. Yeah, my weight is 64.7, but I do feel, to be honest, that I don't have a bowel movement, so that's gonna come at some point today or tomorrow, and that's when I lose weight, most of the time half kg. So now I'm 3 days I think. It's just lion diet. It's really just the beef fat trims. It's beef rib rump steak. It's I now bought also the ground beef from beef, not mixed with pork, and just water. I cut everything out, and yeah, I'm in at night when I wake up and these kind of things. In the morning, I do look forward for the steak. I do very look forward for the beef trims. And now after today, I honestly now understand a little bit of the liver hype, because I don't know, it's getting to me. It's getting good. So I'm happy with that development. So that's what I'm just gonna have for breakfast, I think, because then it's just done and it's still, my body's nourished. I will try to increase maybe this butter drink because it's really good and it's giving me something out of it. One thing I also can tell you, did I say that? The B12, Dr. Chaffee recommended, so I do take this, and I do take the vitamin D 10,000, so I need to take 10 of these little things. There you also have to be careful. What I figured out yesterday when I asked the pharmacy, you know, is it pure, is it just this? And she said, yeah, but we do have grain or mice or something like that in it. And I say, why? She said, yeah, you need this to work. And I said, but do you have alternatives? And she said, yeah, some of these things do contain, I can't remember what she said, but everything contains something. So it's really tough to get the right things which are actually pure. So we do have a brand called Pure in our country, and that's basically the only thing you can buy which has the least of the bullshit inside when you need some supplements. But they're so expensive. I paid for the B12 and the vitamin D, just that much, little thingies. I paid 70 euros, so it's really expensive, but it's important now, so that's what we're gonna do. And Yes, so today I'm extremely tired. I also need your help with that, or maybe you have some suggestions. Because of my mental state a little bit right now, because of the health issues, and at work we do have a lot of issues and things we need to figure out how to work with them, and it's just a really, brainy overthinking things happening which are not that bad. I just need to calm myself down and just stop thinking about it, and most of the time I'm doing very well with that, and I'm really trained myself to be amazing with these kind of things. But right now it's just a little bit too much, I think, because of the health problems I had and these medical decisions. And that's why when I just started now to move again to my phone funny memes thing in the evening, and then I just stick to the memes just to keep me occupied and just change my mindset a little bit. And then that's when I don't sleep very well right now, and I know you shouldn't do that and these kind of things, but it was hard to get rid of this habit, and it's getting back a little bit because of the situation I'm now in. And I try with these kind of things like meditation and yoga and sport and getting out, but now it's cold again outside, so also the kind of a cold depression it was so beautiful outside, so it was great, and I was feeling amazing with the vitamin D, but now it's a little bit more depressing again. So it has a little bit always an impact on your food when you're not sleeping well and you're stressed and these kind of things. So maybe some of you have some suggestion also what to do, and maybe some of you will open my eyes and will tell me something new I didn't know. So that would be great, that would be cool. And I hope you have a great day. And like in the last video, I said everything, how amazing you guys are, and especially then your answers and how much I appreciate it. And if I'm starting to talk again, I'm gonna start again to cry, and then everybody's coming a crybaby. I can change my name into not Ivy Wolf. I can change it into Crybaby, Carnivore Crybaby. It will be more better. So I'm gonna enjoy now my food, and then I will see what to do with my son today and have some fun, hopefully. And looking forward to see you tomorrow, and hopefully read a lot of your tips and tricks you have. So bye bye, see you tomorrow.
Welcome to my channel, guys, it's so nice to meet you. Here I'll share you some advice, such as a preview. Thank you for being nice, subscribe if I reached you. Yours, Ivy Wolf.